Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jessie. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my YouTube channel every week. So if that's the kind of video you're interested in, I hope that you will consider subscribing. I have my March budget for you today. I am going to really quickly share my March budget printables, tell you how you can get them if you're interested. Then I'm going to get them punched, put into my budget planner here, and we're going to fill out my budget for March. February was a great month for my budget. Not so great for me personally. I got pretty sick and dropped the ball on a lot of my goals. It was just overall not the best month ever, but I'm excited for a fresh start for March. So let's go ahead and get into it. So here is a look at my March budget printables. If you didn't know, I have these budget worksheets available as printables as part of my channel membership. I used to post them on Etsy. Etsy fees were getting so exorbitantly high. I decided instead to lower the cost and offer them as part of my channel membership. So if you click the join button down below, you can get all the information on all of the different tiers. The ones specifically that say budget in the title, so there's a budget buddy and a budget bestie category. Those are the ones that offer the budget goodies. The other tiers are, you can get things like bonus content, so extra videos, extra live streams, early access to my videos, that sort of thing. But the ones that say budget specifically are the ones that offer the perks that include the budget worksheets. So if you are signed up as a budget buddy, what you get access to is all of the extra videos and live streams and stuff, but you guys don't care about that. You care about the budget perks, right? So you get the 2-page hybrid budget worksheet, which is the worksheet bundle that I use every single month to keep track of my budget, both on a monthly basis as well as weekly check-ins. It's all on the same 2-page spread. I could do every single bit of my budgeting in just these 2 worksheets if I wanted to. Now, I'm a little extra, so I like to use the extra worksheets, but if I wanted to, I could get away with just this 2-page worksheet. This is what it looks like for March. I chose a kind of pastel-y rainbow with a bright pop of green. I think that's very appropriate for March with St. Patrick's Day. So yeah, you get access to the 2-page hybrid budget, and you also get access to a savings challenge each month. So obviously if you're joining in March, you'll have access to the March ones, but you also can go back and download the ones from January and February as well, even though you weren't a member then. It doesn't have any sort of date on it, so conceivably you could use this any month in the year. Same goes with all of the other ones for the budget buddy tier. So you're definitely going to want to join and grab these. Obviously the March savings challenge is very specifically for March, but I keep it all pretty blank so you can fill in your own amounts. You can really customize this to yourself. If you want each of the little shamrocks to be worth $5, you can mark them as such and just color them in as you save, or you can choose a higher savings goal. I like to leave it pretty open for interpretation. So that's what you get if you're a budget buddy. But if you're also extra like me and you want all these extra worksheets, you're gonna want to join at the budget bestie tier, because that gets you access to the whole shebang, all of my budget worksheets, and it is a total of 17 worksheets, I think 17 or 20, something like that. You get all of my budget worksheets that are undated, and you also get access to a dated add-on, so you can use and print these out and use them any way you like. So you get the debt tracker, you get the hybrid budget that I already mentioned, you get expense trackers. There's a ton. I will pop up a whole list of everything you can get at the budget bestie tier, but yeah, it's all of the worksheets in this coordinating pattern. I love my budget worksheets. They definitely help me to stay on track with my budget and keep everything organized. It's very important to me that I stay organized, otherwise I'm a hot mess. So yeah, if you're interested in budget worksheets, definitely join my channel membership. Now I'm gonna stop giving you a sales pitch and I'm going to start talking about my March budget just as soon as I get these punched. So I have my big arc punch. I like to print my printables here back to back and double-sided so that I can flip through it like a book. I have my little budget planner here, which is a Happy Planner big size. All of my printables are 8.5 by 11, by the way, in case I didn't already mention that. So you can just punch them and put them right into a notebook like this, and it works out perfectly. This is backwards. That's never gonna work if I try to do it that way. Here's that. That. We'll go ahead and get these put into my planners. So this is March. Hard to believe we are already moving into the third month of the year, isn't it? Weren't we just celebrating 2024 starting? Now here it is March already. But I, for one, am greatly looking forward to the fresh start. Because like I said at the beginning, February was kind of a rough month for me. All right, so I'm gonna flip to my hybrid budget because this is the bread and butter of my budget. This is what I use specifically to keep track of all of my budgeted amounts for the month, and then I check in each week. There's a place here to track savings, as well as sinking funds and debt payments. So it's really an all-encompassing look at your budget at a glance. And we're gonna be filling in this monthly section today. So I'm gonna flip to that and I'm gonna zoom you guys in so that you can see a little bit better. And we're just gonna run down the list of all of the budgeting things. Now, there's a few categories of my budget that I keep private. So this is not an all-encompassing look at my budget. There's just some things I don't need to share with the internet. But this is what I'm comfortable sharing. I don't talk about my income. My husband and I run a business together. We are a 2-income family, plus I have my side hustle here on YouTube. We have savings as well that we can use to go towards this budget. So yeah, let's stop yammering and let's get started. All right, starting out with lot rent. This is what I call this line item, but it's actually a couple of categories lumped together. You will see I do that a lot with my budget, just so that I'm not writing out 1,500 different line items. Lot rent includes everything that I pay to my mobile home community. It's the actual lot rent, the rent that I pay for the lot. We own our home, but we rent the lot to mobile home. And then it's also our water bill gets lumped in there and our cable bill. All of that is through our mobile home community, and it's just one lump sum, and I'm gonna budget $800 for that. It's technically a little bit less than that altogether, but I like to have nice round numbers. I always round up. That way, if there's any issues, I am able to cover myself. So that's that. Next up, I have a line item that I call auto pay. So I have a bunch of little bills, think like streaming services, Audible, Disney Plus, Netflix, that sort of thing, plus a few other little odds and ends that all come out of my bank account automatically. I don't have to even think about them. They just come out when they're due. And rather than write out all of those individual bills and taking up like 10 lines of my hybrid budget, I just lump them all together into one auto pay section. Each week I keep track of what came out of auto pay, and then at the end of the month I just add it all together, and that's my actual amount here for my budget. So the amount that I am going to budget is $250 for that, which is estimating high. Last month, for example, I only spent $170.07, but we have a couple of extra things in addition to what came out last week, or last month, so I just err on the side of caution and round up to $250. We have a storage unit, and for that I budget $100 a month. I have DTE. These are all the same bills every single month. If you've seen one of my budgets, you've pretty much seen them all. They don't vary that much in terms of the bills and that sort of thing. What varies each month is my variable spending, which makes sense, right? It's variable. So we'll talk about that closer to the end. Right now, I'm just kind of listing out all the bills. So DTE, I'm gonna budget $220. That is our electric bill. We have car insurance, which is quite a hefty little price tag. I'm gonna budget $505 for that. I've budgeted $500 the last couple of weeks, or the last couple of months, and it's been just over that each month. So I just wanna cover all my bases. $505, that is for 4 vehicles and a camper. My oldest son is 21, he lives with us. He pays for his car insurance. He also pays to help with groceries, and he has a couple of streaming services that he pays for. What he does is he just gives us a lump sum each week when he gets paid, and I include that in my budget as income, and then I just list all of the bills out, even the ones that are his, here. It just makes it easier than trying to keep everything separate and figure everything out. That's the way I do it. So his car insurance is lumped in here as well. Excuse me. All right, we have a golf cart that we are making payments on currently, and that amount is $150 a month. We also have our camper payments. We do have some car payments as well. I decided to keep those private, so you will not see those listed here. Next, I have Michigan Gas, which is the gas for our home. And for that, I'm going to budget $55. We have a couple of credit cards. Right now, we are putting all of our time, money, and effort into paying off credit card debt. So we have a couple of credit cards. We have my Discover card, which is the card I'm currently working on, and I pay money to that every single week when we get paid. So it does have a minimum payment. I don't bother including it in my budget because the payments that I'm making each week in an effort to pay that debt off more than covers that down payment, or that minimum payment. We have another credit card though that we do need to make sure we're making the minimum payment on, since we're not focusing on that credit card right now. We just pay the minimum payment. It is my Sleep Number credit card. My husband and I have a Sleep Number bed that we absolutely love, and that we budget $300 a month for, which actually isn't the minimum payment. I think our minimum payment on that card is like $186 or something, but when we bought the bed, we made ourselves a promise that we were going to pay $300 every month until it was paid off, so that's what we consider the minimum payment, even though the minimum payment is technically less than that. All right, now we're moving into the variable spending. So this is all of our bills, at least all of the bills I share with you. We don't really have a lot of control over that. They kind of are what they are. Obviously, we could turn off lights and try to lower our electric bill, but in the grand scheme of things, we don't have as much control over our bills. But we do have control over our variable spending. So let's talk about that, starting with our grocery budget. This has been a highly discussed topic here on my channel. We spend a crap ton of money on groceries. Inflation is a thing. Grocery prices have gone way up. We also rely a lot on convenience foods, things that are pre-prepared. We are very busy. We're running a business. My kids are going in 2 different directions all the time. A lot of times we are eating at different times. We're eating different things. It's the stage of life we're in right now. It means we're spending a ton of money on groceries. It just is what it is. So I'm budgeting $1,200 a month for my family of 4 for groceries. That includes groceries. It also includes household items. I do all of my shopping at Walmart just to make it easy. I'm not gonna have a separate line item for household items. I have done that in the past. Right now it's just easiest if I lump it all together. This also includes pet food basically anything you can buy at Walmart. So that's $1,200. Basically, and actually, now that I'm sitting here talking to you guys about it, it should be more than that. It's not $1,200 because March technically has 5 Tuesdays in the month. So if we look at my calendar here, March doesn't technically start until March 5th. But this last week of February, I'm incorporating as part of my March budget. We get paid on Tuesdays. So the last paycheck of February is what's going to get me through these first few days in March. So that was February 27th. So that I'm counting as like the first day of my month. And so we're going to have this week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paychecks in March. So I don't need $1,200. Essentially, I'm doing $300 a week. So I need $1,600. And of course, I'm not using an erasable pen, so that's just gonna look like a hot mess because I don't have any whiteout. So yeah, $1,600 for groceries. Hopefully we will spend less than that. Last month we spent less than what I budgeted, which was great, but I want to make sure that all my bases are covered, so we're going with that. So that's groceries. Next we have eating out, which we also do a lot of eating out in addition to the grocery shopping because, again, we're busy. We're always going in different directions. So I like to have a healthy eating out budget just so that we're covered. Hopefully, again, we won't use all of this, but I'm going to budget $500 for the month. That's essentially $100 each week. Okay, for spending, for my husband and I, plus allowance for my son, we are budgeting $600, which is a lot. Again, hopefully we will spend less than that. Last month we spent significantly less, but again, rounding up. I'm going to stop saying the same things over and over again. For extra debt, I'm actually going to keep that private this month. I shared it with you last month. We've totally kind of shifted our plan for tackling debt. Originally, we were thinking that we were going to have all of our debt paid off by, all of our credit card debt paid off by November of this year, or I'm sorry, December of this year. If our new kind of plan of attack works, we're going to be able to have it paid off closer to June or July, but we have really kicked into gear our paying off debt. We've taken some things out of our budget, including sinking funds, which is risky, but it's what we've decided. I'm going to share all of this with my channel members, be a little bit more specific there if you're interested in knowing all the ins and outs and the details, but I'm just going to keep our monthly goal for paying off debt private this month. I will let you guys know here on my channel the day that we pay off our credit card debt. I will definitely announce that. I'm not going to keep that a secret, but just for now, our goal I'm going to keep is a little bit of a secret. Hope you guys don't mind. So that takes extra debt payments and sinking funds off of our budget for the month, since we're not doing sinking funds and I'm not sharing extra debt. But the last thing I'm going to share then is our buffer. Just like with rounding everything up in this budgeted amount, I also like to include a buffer in my account so that all my bases are covered, and that is $200. So that is my monthly budget. Hoping, like I said, to spend less, but we'll have to kind of see how it goes. Let me go ahead and get a total here. So 800 plus 250 plus 100 plus 220 plus 505 plus 150 plus 200 plus 55 plus 300 plus 1600 plus 500 plus 600 plus 200. 5480 is our total here. So provided that we are able to stick to our budget, the total at the end of the month should come in at or below $5,480. So that is my monthly budget. Hopefully I can stick to it. The groceries and the eating out is where we always struggle. You wouldn't think we would, given how much I'm budgeting, but it's just the stage of life we're in. I would rather spend a little bit more and have the convenience things than try to cut our budget way back and struggle and go over budget every month. In the past, I have definitely focused on having a lower grocery budget, a lower eating out budget, and really challenging us to meet that, but just where we are right now, we're busy folks. So I'm gonna spend a little bit more in those categories than maybe you would, but we're all different, right? That's the great thing about personal finances. It's personal. You do you, I'll do me. We can always change things up next month. But yeah, this is my budget for March. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you did in the month of February. I would love to hear from you what you're most looking forward to in March as well. If you care to share, I would love to hear it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye, friends.